Hello, welcome to my day 3 coverage of the 2024 Tour Divide. Let's get over to track leaders and have a little look, see what's been going on over the last day. So it's about 2 a.m. local time, and well, as you can see, our leader, Justina Leveika, he is still riding. So basically, he's not been sleeping very much at all. And I've been talking the last few days about kind of this the to and fro of sleeping tactics. So Laurens ten Dam and Ulrich Bartholomews, they both reached Helena, and they've, I assume, taken hotels. I can't think that they'd be doing anything else in Helena at this time in the morning. So it looks like they've taken hotels, and Justinus, he's still been riding basically non-stop for 2 days, only with short naps here and there. And it looks like he's rolled the dice, and he's going to try and get up over Lava Mountain. Now, there could be a few reasons for this. I'll dig into those in a little while. But first, I'll just have a little look at the rest of the field. So Thomas Fabian, he is in 4th position. He seems to be left in no man's land at the moment. We've got this clear group of kind of leaders at the moment. And after that, we've got another group of people, basically all in Lincoln. So Lincoln is one of the small towns in Montana. And you can see here, Megan Hakkinen, she's our female leader at the moment. And again, she's resting, I imagine, or camping in the town here, along with a few other riders. So this is our kind of second pack on the road now. So we've got Dan Connell, Jimmy Ashby from Australia, Raymond Friedrich, and Aidan Lampe, and there, as you can see, on equal footing with Lael Wilcox's women's record. And then just behind, we've got Anna Jaeger. She's still not too far behind Megan Hakkinen. Looks like she's just going over the pass. I think it's Priest Pass that you cross before Lincoln. Still, it's very early in the morning, so I suspect she'll camp somewhere, or it'll probably be too late to find a motel now in Lincoln. But I imagine she'll sleep in Lincoln tomorrow, and we'll see if that gap is starting to increase between Anna and Megan. I've not heard any updates from Megan or Anna today, and then we've got a group of riders in Ovando, including Liam Glenn, who we talked about a few days ago. So you can see now that the race is starting to form a bit of a pattern. Now, before I go any further, just say a big shout out to Redshift. Obviously, they are sponsoring my coverage. Their shock stems are pretty cool. I've actually got one here that's going on my road bike. But I use them on my road bike and my gravel bike. Good if you're kind of running a rigid fork and you just want a little bit of suspension just to take the edge off. So yeah, check out Redshift and their website, and thanks for supporting my coverage. And I've got a little discount code in the description below if anything on there is of interest to you. So yeah, thanks to those guys. Now let's, where should we start? I guess the big thing is the route. So I'll go over to Rider GPS here. And at the moment, our leaders are in Helena. So Helena is probably the biggest town on the route. Certainly in Montana anyway. And as you can see, after Helena, there's this big climb here. So this is Lava Mountain, and it's quite slow going. So it's quite surprising that Justinus has decided to push on overnight. So if we look at the tracker at the moment, Justinus is actually just ahead of Mike's record. But yeah, it looks like he's going to try and get across tonight. Again, it seems like a big risk at the moment. He's really not sleeping very much, and Ulrich and Lauren seem to be sleeping a lot more behind. I've actually got a message from Ulrich. He's given me an update for the last couple of days, so I'll play that out in a second. But I just want to talk about why Justinus maybe is pushing this, and obviously he's feeling the pressure from behind. He's really hungry for this. I know Justinus fairly well. I know he'll be quite hungry to try and win this. But if we look, I'm going to just go over to Instagram for a second. So Dylan Desaro, he's out there racing, and he's doing some cool updates on his Instagram. But this is the one that's most relevant at the moment. I've been talking about the weather and how it's meant to be quite changeable, and there's some heavy weather and some storms coming in. So the winter storm warning, this is, I imagine this is from one of the sort of government websites that has been reposted here by Dylan. The winter storm warning in effect from 3 a.m. Monday. So that's pretty much about now at the time of recording till 6 a.m. Tuesday. So the next sort of 24 plus hours, it looks like there's going to be some pretty heavy weather hitting the whole divide, to be honest. So heavy snow expected, total snow accumulation of 1 to 4 inches in the valleys, 6 to 10 inches in the higher elevations. So that's going to make the going really tough. And to be honest, some of those high passes are going to be quite tricky to get across. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard, I think, for these riders over the coming days. And if we just put the radar on, so this gives you some of the weather coming through, and you can see there's this massive weather front that's basically it's going straight for the Tour Divide. But if you look at it, you can see where Justinus is, and I'm thinking he might get away with it. So I'm wondering if part of Justinus' tactics are basically just ride really hard these first few days, avoid this weather, and hopefully get a gap. And if you have something like Lava Mountain between you and the others and the chasers, that's quite a hard gap to close, even if it does mean you're a bit more fatigued. So I've got a bit of video of Lava Mountain from when I was there in 2019 it was, and my video has got much better since that time, I must say. But you can see what it's like. It's kind of a rough track. This is the better bit lower down. Higher up, the track really deteriorates. It's been driven by four-wheel drive. There's roots, there's puddles, there's rocks. If it's wet, it'll be very slippery, and it's quite a technical descent. Now, I wouldn't personally want to do this at night. But you know, Justinus is Justinus. It looks like he's rolling the dice a little bit. So yeah, we'll see how he gets on. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens sort of throughout basically the morning over in the US. I suspect if we look at the race flow, you can see kind of that's the women's. We'll go into the women's in a second. But you can see Justinus. We've talked about this before. The steeper the line, the faster you're going. The flatter the line, the slower you're going. So we've got Lawrence in the blue. We've got Ulrich at red. And Justinus is the line at the top there. And you can see from the data here, basically, that Justinus has not slept very much at all. Just a few power naps on the second night. And again, really nothing so far. This would be the climb out of Helena, I suspect. There's a bit of a descent, and then he's on the hard section now. Whereas the others, they're riding faster. It looks like Lawrence is the fastest rider. Ulrich isn't too far behind, but Lawrence looks a bit more consistent. But then they're having these long sleeps. You can tell by the flat lines. And so it's going to be interesting to see, you know, is Justinus taking a risk early? Lawrence looks like he's the fastest rider. Ulrich obviously has the experience. And you can see they're both going quite a bit faster than the others. Thomas Fabian, I found a little bit more about him. He's got a good Instagram. He's from the Czech Republic. He's not posted anything so far from the race, so I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what he does. He does a bit of like skiing and running. So he's obviously a very fit guy and used to being up in the mountains. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on him and see if I can find a bit more information. And if anyone knows anything, then do let me know. He's kind of in no man's land, and then you've got this chase pack behind who are all kind of at a very similar pace. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. And also just note that, you know, our female leader, Megan, she's up in 6th and Anna's in 10th. So they're right up there, right at the front of the race. I'll do a little bit of a breakdown of them. So you can see they're way ahead of the rest of the field. Marie Soleil-Blaise is in 3rd position. She had some quite big stops early on. Looks like she's stopping longer and not quite riding as fast, but not too far off. But Anna and Megan are quite similar. Looks like Anna slept a little bit less on the first night. Very similar yesterday. But I think this is gonna turn into a very, very interesting and quite a tight race, especially if this weather comes in. Now, this weather could get people stuck. It looks like most of them. Well, it looks like everyone who's kind of currently in Lincoln is going to have a real tough day. So there's a couple of big passes out of Lincoln. There's 3 passes, and you're on quite high ground all the time before you drop down into Helena. So if that snow's coming in, we could see the gap between the front riders and that mid pack really, really increase. And you know, it could be half a day if they get snowed in and have to wait. I did see Dan Connell he put a post out saying they're waiting to see what the weather was going to be in Lincoln. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It looks like the leaders have got away with the worst of it, but it's still going to be grim up there. So yeah, let's see how that pans out. So just back over to Rival GPS. So they've got this section here, and then they're into Butte, and you can see just from the elevation chart, they're getting higher and higher now. So once they're out of Butte, they're basically kind of up on the, sort of getting up on the plateau in the middle of the country, and yeah, that elevation, if the weather does come in there, it looks like it is just about going to miss them. But if it comes up there, you've got Fleecer Ridge and things like that, it could be grim. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a real tough few days for these riders out there. So from now I've got a few voice notes, so I'll just run Ulrich's update from the first couple of days. So this is his Instagram. Give him a follow. He's got some interesting stuff on there. But this is what he had to say about the first 2 days of the race for him.
So here we go with a quick summary of day 1 and 2. Day 1 actually was pretty good. Was fast racing together with Justinas and Lawrence. So there was simply no time to report anything, but all the major passes in Canada are free of snow. Only a very few patches on Coco Claims, but all less than like 20 meters long. So day 1 was pretty successful. Ended in Fernie, got a tiny house, slept there for 3 hours, and then pushed on into day 2. Chased all the people down that continued during night, and then in the morning I didn't feel that well, had some problems with nutrition intake, which got worse during day. So around noon I vomited the first time, barely had any energy left, and was feeling really bad, going really slow, and as usual, if shit hits the fan, it started raining, and was really cold rain. And later on Red Meadow Pass, it even started snowing. So this was actually a pretty mad day on the bike, and really hard for me to keep on going. But anyway, I wanted to make it kilometer 600 Columbia Falls, and I'm happy that I made it. Got a hotel.
So that was Ulrich there. Sounds like he's having a bit of a rough time with stomach issues, which just makes his ride even more impressive. I mean, he's still very much in contact with the front of the race. I mean, he's obviously been looking after himself a little bit, whereas Justinas hasn't been. So I think if he just takes it easy for a couple of days, rests himself, gets over his stomach issues, there's no reason why he'll be right. Why he can't be right up there at the pointy end. So another little element to look out for as the race goes on. And I've got another little update. This is from actually Liam Yates. So he is currently riding along. He's kind of more in the mid pack. So another British rider. His first time on Tour Divide, probably the biggest ride he would have ever done. So he's also going to send me a few messages. So let's see what Liam has to say.
Yo, Josh, Liam here. Night 3 on the route, just patrolling the mid pack, staying in a hotel tonight in Whitefish. It's been pretty cold so far. Yesterday caught in a bit of snow on the last 2 climbs before Eureka. Bit of mud, nothing too bad. Slight crash, but all good. The ground conditions can change quite quick with the temperature I found. So yeah, the mud goes from being soft and then hard on descents, and it was a bit sketchy. But saw a bear. But yeah, I'll keep you updated. Hopefully it warms up. Heading towards Lincoln direction tomorrow. Ovando, maybe. See how I get on.
So that was Liam Yates, obviously a rookie on Tour Divide. There's a lot of rookies out there this year. So yeah, reporting, obviously weather's been quite cold the last few days. I think it's going to get a lot colder. I hate to break it to Liam. He is going to be right in the thick of it. Let's see if we can find him on the tracker. Where is he? Where's Liam? I can't see. Oh, there we go, Liam. So he is currently resting up in Whitefish. So yeah, he's going to get smashed by the bad weather as it comes in. So good luck to Liam, and yeah, he's definitely getting a Tour Divide to remember for a start. So yeah, finally, I just want to finish up today. JP DeVery, a lot of you will know his name, is out on the course, and he just posted this video not that long ago of our leader Justina Leveika, smiley and happy as ever. Looks like this was just before or after Helena. So yeah, that's Justinas on his way and currently leading. So looks like Jay's going to be out on course. So give him a follow on Instagram, and I'm sure he will be sharing some good stuff. So that is all I've got for day 3. Looking forward to see how this pans out. It's starting to get pretty exciting. Is this storm going to really shake things up, or are those leaders going to get through? Tune in again tomorrow. I shall put another video out. So thanks for watching, and catch you again in the next one.